I sent out my birthday invitations first. 2 weeks later, my brother announced his BBQ party on the same day. My name is David, and I live in Phoenix, Arizona. I want to tell you about the night I learned the difference between a family and a trap. The candle flame swayed against the blade of the knife I sliced into the cake completely by myself. The sharp sound of the knife dragging across the porcelain plate felt louder than any party outside. My phone vibrated endlessly with over 50 missed calls like a swarm of flies on a corpse. Yet I smiled because that night wasn't about a birthday cake. It was the night the trap finally closed. My brother Julian always had to be the center of attention. Growing up, I thought his constant need to shine, to outdo me, to steal the energy from every room was harmless. I let him get away with it. I told myself, family deserved patience. But patience rots away when respect is gone. I had sent out invitations for my birthday weeks earlier. A simple, quiet dinner. Nothing extravagant. My wife Sarah had promised to help set the table. My daughter Chloe had even chosen the balloons. For once, I allowed myself to look forward to something simple and honest. Then Julian announced his barbecue. It was planned for the exact same day and time. He called it just a casual get-together. But the guest list told a different story. He had invited everyone. Our parents, our cousins, all my so-called friends. Even my wife had helped him with the planning. That was the first betrayal. The second happened when my daughter accidentally let something slip. Uncle Julian says he'll have fireworks. They had chosen him over me, every single one of them. The signs had been there all along. My wife's late nights helping with his catering. Our parents' half-hearted smiles when they brushed off my invitation. The whispers. The sudden silence. But I found that betrayal no longer shocked me. It simply sharpened me. I didn't get angry. I didn't beg. I planned. Because Julian thought taking my family from me would break me. He never considered what I could take from him. For several months I was patient and meticulous. While Julian flaunted his arrogance, I quietly studied his weaknesses. His barbecue wasn't just a party, it was an illegal investment scheme. He was funneling money from our relatives into his small real estate fund. I had the bank statements, the fake contracts, the forged signatures. I just needed the perfect night to ignite the fuse. My birthday. At noon, while my wife strung up lights in Julian's yard, I was long gone. 3 states away, sitting in a silent hotel room, I hit send. Dozens of emails launched like arrows, screenshots, documents, recordings. Each one was aimed precisely at his investors, at the IRS, at his clients, at his own wife. By the time Julian flipped the first burger, his entire empire was nothing but ashes. His bank accounts were frozen. His investors were furious. His name was flagged in government databases. And still the betrayal cut deeper. At 7:00 p.m., I was standing alone in my kitchen. The table was set for 20 people. The empty chairs stared back at me. My daughter's balloons drooped in. Silence. Not a single person knocked on the door, not even her. For a moment, I almost let the loneliness win. But then my phone screen lit up. A message, "Call me urgent." It was my wife, followed by more than 50 missed calls from my parents, my cousins, my friends, and even Julian himself. The barbecue had gone completely silent. The guests had learned the truth while toasting with their drinks. Laughter had turned to panic. Trust had flipped into betrayal. The man they had chosen over me was unraveling in front of them, and now they were all desperately trying to crawl back to me. I didn't answer. I just sliced the cake. I ate it alone. It was sweet, cold, and perfect because that night wasn't about a celebration. It was about consequences. They wanted a show. Julian gave them one, and I gave them silence. Later, my wife stumbled through the door. Her makeup was ruined, and her panic was dripping from every word. She begged me to understand. She claimed Julian's party seemed harmless. She swore she never knew about the fraud. She cried about the family name and about fixing this together. I simply let her words hang in the air. I studied her face the way you would study a broken mirror. Each crack told its own truth. Finally, I whispered, "You made your choice." The weight of that sentence was heavier than any scream. She knew exactly what I meant. That night, the guest room door remained locked. The next day, Julian called, his voice once loud and confident, now cracked like glass. "You did this to me," he said. I didn't deny it, and I didn't gloat. I only said, "You took everything from me. I just reminded you what it feels like." Then I hung up. Weeks passed and the silence around me became a form of freedom. More forced family dinners where loyalty felt like a performance. No more pretending Julian's spotlight didn't blind me. They all tried to reconnect, of course. Messages, apologies, excuses. Even our parents called, their voices dripping with guilt, but I let the phone ring because forgiveness isn't owed, it has to be earned, and none of them had paid the price. Now, when I think of that night, I don't remember the empty chairs or the quiet house. I remember the steady vibration of my phone with all those missed calls. Desperation, ringing itself out while I calmly cut the cake into perfect pieces. Julian thought he had won when the room filled with laughter and the smell of smoke. But in the end, fire consumes everything. And as for me, I learned to smile in the silence because revenge doesn't always roar. Sometimes it answers with absolutely nothing at all. What lesson did you learn from this story? Please let me know in the comments.